When Shout heard this sound, his whole person was as if being electrocuted, and he jumped high all at once. Soon, he immediately followed the sound, and on a small stool in the bathroom door was a young man with a smile on his face. He was shocked and suddenly asked, "You? Who are you?" Charlie sneered. "Me? I'm the great benefactor of your Sioux family." Shout said nervously, "What kind of benefactor?" "You, what do you want to do?" Charlie smiled. "I'm really the great benefactor of your Sioux family. Your eldest brother's children Jufei and Ziyu. They were kidnapped in Japan. I saved them." "You said am I the great benefactor of your Sioux family?" "What?" Shout said dumbfounded. You are the mysterious master of Japan?" Charlie asked with interest. "What? Have you heard of me?" Shout vaguely said. "I heard my niece talk about it, my father still keeps talking about it. If he has a chance to find you, he must thank you very much." As he said, he carefully looked at Charlie with a pair of eyes, trying to figure out whether this person was an enemy or a friend. He secretly analyzed in his heart. This kid suddenly appeared in my room. No matter how I look at it, it is because the person who came is not good, but if he is really the mysterious person who rescued Jufei and Ziyu in Japan, then he should have no malice towards the Sioux family, right? Charlie smiled at this time and said, "Oh, if Sioux family really want to thank me, then it would be a really good, heartfelt gratitude. I just say it, because I not only saved the brother and sister, other than those two, also took a hand to save your elder brother's illegitimate daughter." Shoud's expression changed suddenly. "My eldest brother's illegitimate daughter? You mean Ruoli?" Seeing him in horror, Charlie nodded and said with a smile, "Yes, I also rescued Ruoli." Shoud didn't know whether Charlie was an enemy or a friend, but now he had the answer in his heart. The man in front of him must be an unkind person. Because it was because of Ruoli's sudden disappearance that the old man's business with the Japanese self-defense force was not fulfilled, and it was completely exposed. The nervous Shoud immediately said, "Hey brother, Ruoli's matter was the idea of my father alone, and I did not participate in it." Charlie nodded and smiled. "I haven't finished speaking yet, don't worry about explaining your excuses," Shoud hurriedly said respectfully. "Please say," Charlie snorted, tilted his long legs, and said leisurely, "Your sister-in-law and your elder niece were kidnapped by the wanted man and almost died in a car accident. I saved them both." "What? It's you?" Shoud was even more terrified when he heard this. The last thing he wanted to see was that Leona and Ziyu alive. Unexpectedly, they were also rescued by this young man. The nervous Shoud was afraid that Charlie would see his guilty conscience, so he hurriedly pretended to be excited and said, "I didn't expect my sister-in-law and niece to be alive. It's great. Great." After speaking, he hurriedly said again, "I came to this city this time to find their whereabouts. Don't you know, our family is very nervous about the safety of the mother and daughter. Before I came, my father told me, at all costs, it's safety of the two of them very important. I didn't expect them to be saved by you. Thank you so much." Charlie smiled and said, "Shoud, I thought you all of the Sioux family men are old foxes with scheming fortunes. I didn't expect that your acting skills are so flamboyant and you are not at all interested. It really disappoints me," Shoud said nervously. "Gentlemen, what do you mean by this? How can I not understand?" While speaking, Shoud's brain was already running at high speed. He can now be sure that the young man in front of him has no good intentions, so what he thinks in his mind is how to get out of trouble. At this moment, the first thought that appeared in his mind was calling for help. On this floor of the hotel, there are at least 40 or 50 of my subordinates, and there are many masters among them. The combined combat effectiveness is amazing. This kid is not an opponent at all. However, this guy can quietly appear in my room. It proves that his personal strength is still very strong, combined with the previous descriptions of him by Jufei and Ziyu. This person can kill many top Japanese ninjas by himself. This shows that this person is extremely powerful. Even if my subordinates can beat him together, I am afraid that he will kill me directly when I call for help. Thinking of this, he immediately gave up the idea of calling for help. But if I don't call for help, what should I do next? What if he wants to kill me? When he was struggling, Ruoli stepped in. When Shoud saw Ruoli, he immediately looked like a ghost, and said with a trembling, "If Ruoli, you, why are you here?" Ruoli looked at him coldly and asked, "What? You must be disappointed to see me alive?" Shoud said in a panic, "Ruoli, don't get me wrong. You are the flesh and blood of my elder brother and my niece. How could I wish you something?" Ruoli gritted her teeth and cursed, "Shoud, don't you pretend to be a good person here. Your Sioux family regarded me as cannon fodder and sold my life to the Japanese self-defense forces. Is it true that I don't know?" Shoud explained in a panic. "Ruoli, that was not my decision, it's all your grandpa." Ruoli immediately angered. "He is not my grandfather. He is such a cruel and shameless scum. I will kill him myself sooner or later." Seeing that Ruoli was a little excited, Charlie said indifferently, "Ruoli, you must learn to control your emotions at all times. Otherwise, no matter how talented you are, it will be difficult for you to become a master in the future. Ordinary practitioners only practice skin and muscles. As long as they practice hard, their temper and emotions will not have much impact on their own strength. However, for people like Ruoli, who practiced internal martial arts since childhood and mastered internal power, what they fear most is mentality problems. Otherwise, it is very likely that she will fall into a bottleneck period, and it will be difficult to break through." When Ruoli heard Charlie's words, she hurried back to her senses, controlled her emotions, and said ashamed, "Thank you, Master Wade, for reminding me that I was too impulsive." Shoud heard this and pointed at Charlie and exclaimed, Your surname Wade?" Charlie nodded. "Yes, my last name is Wade." Shoud blurted out, Are you from the Wade family?" As soon as he finished speaking, he muttered to himself, "Impossible, I never heard of any masters from the Wade family." As soon as he finished speaking, he raised his head to look at Charlie, and the more he looked, the more he realized that this young man seemed very familiar. Seen somewhere. So, he racked his brains and thought carefully for a moment, and suddenly a face popped out of his mind, and this face immediately frightened him. He looked at Charlie and blurted out, Why do you look like Changying Wade? Do you have any relation with him?" Charlie put away his cynical expression, and said coldly, "That is my father, I am his son, Charlie."